All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Kim Levinsky, owner and race director for SquaTCh Trail Running. We put on trail parties in New Jersey and New York, and this weekend we have our annual Big Bear SquaTCh North Trail Party 10K and half marathon. So I'm going to go through our pre-race announcements. We started doing this last race for SquaTCh Apple, and I was looking at the watch count. It was way more than half. Almost all of the people who signed up watched the video. So that tells me it's easier to watch or listen to pre-race announcements instead of reading a long email. And I agree 100%. I think it's much easier to do. You can multitask while you're listening in the days leading up to the race. So let's jump into it. I'm basically just reading through our pre-race email. This is going to go out to all pre-registered runners and hikers tonight after this ends. So whatever I say in this recording is going to be sent out via email, both in English and in Spanish. All right, so Saturday is the big day. Thank you for registering for the Big Bear SquaTCh North. First and foremost, we have to thank our co-sponsors for this event, which is the New York, New Jersey Trail Conference. Without them, the permits wouldn't happen. We wouldn't get permission, no chance. So we are forever grateful for our friends at the Trail Conference, and the proceeds from this race, some of the proceeds are going to be supporting the good work they're doing, especially rebuilding so many of the trails in Harriman and Bear Mountain. If you've been around, you know that this race the race course has been reworked every year since we've had it the last few years. Kind of similar to Breakneck, where they've had to reroute just due to trail conditions. So we've had to do the same thing. There were crazy storms that came through in July of 2023, and the park is still recovering from that. So I just had a conversation with the park ranger last week, and he was telling me that it's going to be years before all the trails are back opened up. So we are happy that we could put on the event that we have and the race course that we have, and that is thanks to the Trail Conference and New York State Park. So, all right, here are some details to make your trail party experience go as smoothly as possible. All right, weather forecast. We'll just start with that right off the bat. We are, I guess, ending our streak of beautiful weather for SquaTCh races. I was kind of holding my breath, wondering when is it going to rain again for a race. It's been probably 5 or 6 races that we've had in a row where we've had decent weather. So, yes, you probably are stalking the forecast, and it's probably going to rain. It's like 70% chance rain for Bear Mountain, kind of on and off throughout the day. So from my experience, I can just say that just count on rain through most of the event. Plan on the trail conditions being slippery. Hopefully, you've read a bit on our website and have read some race reports, and you know that this is a very technical and rugged mountain race. So that does make things a little spicy when it rains. So just be prepared that the rocks are definitely going to be slick on Saturday, and that could make some parts of the course a little bit challenging. So we always say, poles are welcome at all of our events. So if you're comfortable with hiking poles, this is a great event to bust them out, especially with the weather. And we definitely recommend trail shoes for this, something with great grip on the bottom with some aggressive lugs. All right, so let's go through the trail party schedule. Both the half marathon and the 10K kick off at 9 a.m. So both of those events will have check-in starting at 8:15 to 8:45, and then the race starts at 9. Both events have a 6-hour cutoff, so the course closes at 3 p.m. The 10K does not have any on-course cutoffs, so you've got 6 hours to finish. And the half marathon has one cutoff, and that is when you come back to the start finish after doing that first loop. It's about 7.5 miles. So you need to start the 10K course, so the back half of the course, by 12:30 p.m. So the math on that, we did that for you. Half marathoners, you need to maintain about a 27.5 minute per mile pace in order to finish by 3 p.m. And 10Kers, you need to be moving basically 58 minutes per mile in order to finish. So plenty of time. All right, let's talk about SquaTCh HQ and parking. We will send out in this email a link, GPS link to Anthony Wayne Recreation Area. There are a zillion, literally. I think this is the biggest parking area in New York State. It goes quite literally for a mile. So you have plenty of room. You can park wherever you want. You'll be able to park very close to the start finish. And so 10Kers, just remember you're not going to pass your car on the course. So you're going to do the full 10K loop, come back to the finish line. Half marathoners, though, when you finish that first loop, which is about 7.5 miles, you will come back to the start finish area. So you can stash some stuff in your car if you want to access that. You'll have very easy access to your car. You are welcome to leave stuff at the aid station, but the real estate under our tents are going to be limited. We don't have one of those big circus tents. We just have a couple of the 10 by 10s. So we are going to prioritize our runners and hikers who are coming in maybe via carpool or they're getting dropped off and they don't have a vehicle on site. We're definitely prioritizing them to stash their stuff under the tent. The rest of y'all, we'd prefer if you can leave it by your car. That'll just save room for people who need the space. Okay, check-in. So our volunteers will give you a bib. They're going to give you safety pins and a choice of swag items. We have a lot of fun swag items to choose from. We got bucket hats, notebooks, and keychains, lots of fun stuff. And also, you don't have to take a swag item if you don't want it. We do want to point out participants who have signed up for the rucking division. This is new this year. We have a lightweight, which is 15 pounds, and a heavyweight, which is 30 pounds. We will weigh your packs before you kick off. So during check-in, just let, our volunteers will know because it's on the check-in sheet, but they're going to say, you're doing the ruck, let's weigh your pack, and then we have a scale that we can use to weigh it. And just remember, like we said on the website, it's your what's called dry weight. So you take your water out and snacks and everything, and that's the weight of your pack. You need to get it to 15 pounds for lightweight and 30 pounds for heavyweight, and then you can add your stuff back in. Okay, so we will also give you a whistle that you can carry with you during the event for safety. And just know that our squat shop will be open all day. So we have a lot of fun, really goofy things in the squat shop. You've probably seen some of the Hawaiian shirts that we have. We have a whole variety of them. But we've got T-shirts and beanies, and there's probably going to be some umbrella hats on Saturday. So just keep an eye out for that. When you finish the race, we've got your handcrafted wood medals waiting for you. And awards are going out to the top 3 female, non-binary, and male for each of the divisions, including rucking. So if you follow us on social media, you've probably seen some pictures. We're doing something new. We've got these really sweet slate coasters that we are engraving in the squat shop. So those are pretty cool. Those are going out to the top 3 finishers. And then if you're in the rucking division, we will have the Go Ruck patch. It's official. It's from them. They sent it out to us. It is pretty cool. So we're excited about that. All right, let's talk about the mandatory gear. This is especially important for Saturday, especially with the forecasted weather that's going to be a little spicy. So again, I'm going to say this several times through these announcements in case you didn't read anything about it before signing up. This course is not flat. The trails are technical, and technical means there's a lot of rocks and roots. There's some really steep climbs and descents, and both the half marathon and 10K course have scrambles. So scrambling means that you're using your hands and your feet to get up and down. So we have a short required gear list. This will not take up a lot of space. I know there's always a little bit of pushback from runners who are really racing hard. They don't want to carry everything. This isn't going to take up a lot of room. So you definitely need to have your cell phone with you. You got to bring something to carry water. Our events are cupless, so a bottle or hydration pack. At least 300 extra calories. And the reason for that is, especially for a day like Saturday, you might be out there longer than you anticipate. So bringing some extra snackies with you, and especially for the 10K, because there is no on-course aid station for the 10K other than the water stop at the West Mountain Shelter. And then you're going to bring your whistle with you, which we're giving you, or, most running packs have them built in. You can use that. And then we want you to have the GPX file on your phone or on your watch device. And we have that on our website. We also have a whole instructional video on how to do that. We make it really easy where you can download it and then upload it to your preferred device. And then we always have a list of recommended items. These aren't required, but could be a good idea. Poles, like I mentioned earlier, trekking poles. If you think you're going to be out there for a while and you're anticipating using your phone at some point, never a bad idea to have external battery pack. It is going to be a little bit on the cooler side, and with the rain, definitely some extra layers, buff hat gloves. And then there are no porta-johns on the course, both the 10K and the half marathon. So never a bad idea to bring a Ziploc full of some wipes with you. And then also you can pack out the trash with another bag. All right, let's move on to the course description. So the course highlights some of the technical trails, beautiful views, and steep climbs of Harriman State Park. Again, not a flat course. So we were going to mark the course extremely well. We used neon pink trail ribbon and pink or red directional arrows that go at each of the turns. We also have some wrong way signs that have an X, they're orange. So in the half marathon, you're going to climb around 2,600 feet. Everybody's device watch is going to come in with something different, but no, it's at least 2,000 feet of gain. And the 10K, we've clocked it at 1,400 feet of gain. Again, anticipate at least 1,000, but up to 1,400 or 1,600 of gain. We always allow pacers for any athletes who are over the age of 60, and also any AWDs, which is athletes with disabilities. So if you want to have a pacer with you, if you fall into either of those two categories, awesome. We just ask that you register your pacer ahead of time. There's a link on our website, and you'll get a pacer bib for your person who's going to be with you. Okay, one very important point we're going to say a few times, definitely during pre-race announcements on Saturday. Half marathoners, you have to come back to the start finish when you're on your return loop from the first 7.5 miles. So we will have a lot of signs there to direct you. You do not want to do your 7-ish miles and then go right into the 10K course. You have to go all the way back on Beachy Bottom Trail and come to Anthony Wayne, cross over the timing mat so we can account for you, and then you go back out. And also, if you don't do that, you're going to be way short on miles. So you need to make sure you come back to the start finish after doing that first lollipop. We started doing this a few years ago, which is called safety checkpoints. So you're going to notice on the course that we have a few yellow signs that have large letters on them, A, B, C, and D. These are our safety checkpoints. So in the event of emergency, you can use this as a reference point. A lot of people are coming to Bear Mountain and maybe they've never been there before. They're not super familiar. They don't know the names of the trail. So this is handy where you can reference the checkpoint. So as you pass by them, just take mental note of the letter that you pass by. And then if you need to make a call to us, if you need help, or maybe you see another runner or maybe a hiker who's out, we can dispatch the state park police, and the rangers are going to be on site to provide support. So just take a mental note of those signs. You'll see them. There's about 4 of them throughout the course. All right, for the aid station, we've got the half marathoners are going through the Queensboro aid station. It's around mile 4. And the report I got from our aid station captain, Jody Bauer, is that the majority of people just flew right through it, didn't even stop. But some people did, but majority just kept going through. So feel free to stop. You don't have to rush through it. We're going to have snacks there. We will also have water there and first aid there as well. So that's around mile 4 of the half marathon course. And then when you come back to Anthony Wayne, the start finish, which is around mile 7.5, we'll have an aid station set up there. We'll have snacks, water, and scratch. We'll be at the start finish. And then for the both the half marathon and the 10K, you're going by what's called the West Mountain Shelter. It's this beautiful overlook of the Hudson Valley, and there's a big lean-to up there. So we've got water stashed up there, and huge shout out to Jody Bauer, again, our aid station captain. He has been hiking up gallons of water this week. So I think he hiked up over 10 gallons of water. It's 2 miles straight up and straight down. So Jody Bauer is a legend. So you're going to pass that for the 10K. That's around your mile 4. And for the half marathoners, that's around mile 11. You'll pass water only. Again, feedback we got when we went after the race last year to retrieve the jugs of water, I think we only went through 1 or 2 gallons. So a lot of people just go right past it, but we want to have it there in case you need it, so you can plan on that. We are working on having hot coffee ready for you at the finish line. We'll have our generator running, and we got a big coffee urn. So bonus points if you bring your own mug and save us some paper mugs or some paper cups. But we will do our best to have that ready, barring any technical mechanical issues that sometimes pop up when you're using generators. But it should be good to go. All right. Let's see. Snack items at the aids will be, we've got chips, we've got Oreos, fruit snacks, granola bars, some candy and fruit, and water, and then again, scratch. And our scratch rep, Kenton, will be there on site at the start finish with the amazing scratch products. And remember, you can save 20% on scratch using the code SASQUAD2025. So that's a pretty sweet deal. They've been hooking us up with that since they started sponsoring us a few years ago. So take advantage of that. Okay, restrooms, very important item. We are going to have about 8 porta-johns at the start finish, so more than enough for the amount of people that are coming. There, again, like I said earlier, there are no porta-johns on the course, so this is your chance to use the porta-john. And we will have menstrual products right next to the porta-johns, and these are being sponsored by pelvic floor physical therapist, Dr. Colleen Dreyhos. She just came on as a SquaTCh sponsor, and she's sponsoring all the menstrual products for all the events. And it is really impressive, the amount of products that she has. It really elevated that the menstrual product game compared to what we were doing before. So huge shout out to Dr. Colleen. She might be stopping by the race. We'll see if she's able to swing by. And she does wonderful work with pelvic floor therapy. All right, let's chat about wildlife. Although with the weather forecast, I don't think you'll be encountering much wildlife out there, but we always like to give our wildlife disclaimer. So if you live around this area in New York State, you're familiar with Harriman and Bear Mountain, you know that black bears are out there. Personally, I live in northern Jersey where there are a lot of black bears, and I have not seen one yet. I am hearing that they're starting to get a little more active, but so far I haven't seen any, and I haven't heard of any bear sightings this year over at Harriman. But they're still, they're there. They didn't disappear. So just be aware that they could be out there. And if you do see a bear, you want to make yourself big. You're going to throw your hands in the air. If you have poles, you're going to wave them around. The biggest thing is to focus on being big and being loud. So you scream, "Hey, bear!" and that bear is going to just scamper off. 9 times out of 10, it probably sees you before you see it. So just remember, don't run away from a bear and don't take a selfie with a bear. The two ends of the spectrum. You want to make yourself big and wait for it to get out of the way before you start moving forward again. And the other wildlife we chat about is snakes. There are definitely snakes out there. The most common one in Harriman is probably the rat snake. And if you've seen a rat snake, it actually looks kind of terrifying because it's so large, but they are harmless. But that is a type of snake you might see. There also are rattlesnakes in Harriman. I saw a rattlesnake a few years ago, and it was crazy. I wasn't ready for it, but thankfully it was far enough away from me and I was able to go around it, no problem. But again, do not approach snakes. Don't try to take a selfie with it. You want to go as wide as you can around a snake if you see one out there. Okay, this leads us to pets. So our insurance does not cover your 4-legged friend in the race, so we don't allow pets to participate. However, if your family or friends are coming to the event and they want to bring your 4-legged friend, that's cool, but they have to be leashed at all times. Even if they're the most behaved dog ever, we still need it to stay on a leash if it's going to be at the race site. Okay, we always like to talk about trail etiquette because we have tons of new trail runners and hikers who come out to our events. So we never like to assume anything, and trail etiquette is something that you kind of learn with experience. So SquaTCh, our mission is to help people get more comfortable on the trail. So here are a few things you want to keep in mind when you're out there to make your trail experience super SquaTCh-tastic. So we always discourage the use of headphones so you can hear your surroundings, like nature and other participants. If you need to use headphones, like you cannot go without music or your favorite podcasts, consider using one earbud or those ones that wrap around. I forget what they're called, aftershocks or something like that, where you can hear external noise. You definitely don't want to have noise canceling headphones at a trail race. This is a big one, and since there's a lot of single track out on this course in particular, you're probably going to encounter this, especially towards, for the 10Kers, the beginning of the climbing section is pretty much when you turn off to get on Ramapo Dunderberg all the way back to the bottom of Beachy Bottom, you're going to be on single track. So talk about passing somebody. So trail etiquette is you don't come up behind somebody and not say anything and then try to huff around them. When you're trying to pass somebody, it's great to call out, hey, can I pass on your left? And give that person time to move over. If you're in a section where you can't get around that person, be patient, okay? We've heard stories out there of runners who are very impatient and I've heard a story before of a runner who pushed somebody with their elbow. That is like never okay in any universe. So make sure you're communicating with the person in front of you. It's just basic etiquette. Say, hey, can I go around you? Wait for that person, give them time to move off trail or to step aside and get around them. Let's see, next one. There's not going to be a crazy amount of mud. I mean, maybe Beachy Bottom, the beginning of that trail, because that's always wet. So that's probably where you'll encounter the most moist trails. But we always like to remind people, run right through the puddles rather than trying to go around them or on the edge of an embankment. Otherwise, you're going to basically encourage erosion, and we don't want to do that with widening the trail. So run right through it. You're going to probably get muddy and wet anyway throughout the race. So right in the beginning on Beachy Bottom, don't be afraid. Just go right through it. Pack out all your trash. Please do not leave your trash at like a sign. We've seen that before where runners will drop their trash next to an arrow because maybe they're thinking like, oh, the sweepers are going to pick this up. Pack out your trash, please. Stick it in your pocket, and then we've got plenty of trash cans at the start finish for you. And we also, as every organization hopefully has, there's zero tolerance for bullying, hate speech, or disrespectful language towards participants, spectators, volunteers. We're going to have the rangers on site. We just want to be nice people, be kind. And last but certainly not least, our volunteer dream team, the heart and soul of SquaTCh. Always remember to thank a volunteer at any race you're at. The volunteers make the trail magic happen. All right, here are a few miscellaneous items. We are getting to the end of our list here. Again, a reminder, the course closes at 3 p.m. sharp. We will have our sweepers are going out immediately at the start of the race. They're going to go behind the last runner and hiker of the half marathon. They're going to do that first loop, stay behind the last person. When they get back to the start finish, they're going to switch off with our next set of sweepers, who will again follow the last hiker to go and do the 10 course. And they'll be pulling down ribbons as they come, as they go through the course. So, we cannot allow runners and hikers to continue on the course if they miss a cutoff. We've had that issue in the past, actually at New York State, where this is probably 2 or 3 years ago. A runner was insistent on they wanted to continue on even though they missed cutoff, and I just had to explain to them, like, listen, this isn't our permit. The Rangers are holding us to that, and we need you to cooperate. So just a reminder, it's good advice for any event. You want to respect those cutoff times. They are there for a reason. Always keep your bib visible, especially when you're crossing the finish line. That is how we are going to track you. Our timing system is going to pick up those numbers. I can actually show you the bibs here. Hold on one second. This is, we are we are debuting our small bibs. We heard the people who asked. A lot of members of our community asked for smaller bibs. So these are 4x6, which is half of the standard size for bibs. So this makes it a lot easier to attach to your clothing, especially if you're wearing shorts or like compression gear. So this is our 10K bib. We've got our half marathon bib here. You can see the black bears on the background. And then our rucking division, we have heavyweight is a black bib and lightweight is white. One thing to note for our ruckers, you're doing the 10K. So when you finish, we need you to check in with our timers, and they're going to write down your time. We're tracking the rucking division manually. Everybody else is going to be tracked by our timing system. So again, keep your bib visible at all times so we can pick up your finish time and your splits. All right, this is important for our half marathoners. If you go out, you do those first 7.5 miles, and you're just like, hell no, I don't want to go out and do the 10K. I'm out. That's totally cool. You just need to let us know. So come over to the timing table and let our volunteers know that you're dropping. It is so important, especially a day like Saturday where we're going to have some interesting weather. If you're going to drop from the race, totally cool, no judgment, but just let us know so we can make sure that you are accounted for. So don't leave early without communicating with us. Let's see. That was dropping from the race. And then the next thing, we always ask this. We just ask for your help with this instead of asking our race time. A lot of times, people are excited. They want to know their finish time or where they placed. Our race timers are really focused on making sure all the times are being recorded. So please don't ask for your finish time. We will have our race clock up unless it's a total monsoon. But hopefully it won't be a total monsoon. We will have our large race clock there, so you'll see your time as you cross over the finish line. And we will post the results hopefully by Saturday evening. If not, they'll be up by Sunday morning. And we always love, you could tag us on your social media posts. We want to celebrate with you. So we're active on Instagram and Facebook. Tag us at SquaTCh Trail Running. All right, this is our final part. Personally, my favorite is all the thank yous. So thank you to our volunteer dream team. We have people who are going out on Friday to mark the course. We'll have tons of volunteers out there on Saturday as early as 5, 6 a.m. We're checking the course to make sure no ribbons were pulled down. We have sweepers coming after the race. And then this past year, we started implementing a second sweep. So we have another set of volunteers coming out to sweep the course again, just to make sure we are leaving the trails better than when we started there. So I got to shout out Jody Bauer again, our aid station captain. He's hiked up over 10 gallons of water, 2 miles up, and you'll see on Saturday it's not an easy climb. He's hiked them in this last week, stashed them for the West Mountain Shelter aid station. So really, really incredible. If you see him at the race, he'll be at the Queensboro aid station. Make sure you say thank you to him. And again, we're always proud and we love supporting our nonprofit partner, the New York, New Jersey Trail Conference. So they maintain over 2,000 miles of trails, including all the trails in Harriman State Park and Bear Mountain State Park. So the trails that you're running on Saturday, they are the people, it's all volunteer driven, who go out there and maintain those trails. So we're really happy to be able to donate some funds back to them with this event. And we always love to say thank you to New York State Park Police, the rangers who are going to be out there on site and responding if there are any emergencies out on the trail. So we really appreciate the work that they do. Our sponsors and partners, I can go through this real quick, but SquaTCh Labs, another shout out to SquaTCh. They're going to be on site with your amazing hydration products. So we got SquaTCh Labs, Sneaker Factory, Nutrition Mechanic, Well Body Labs, Lightfoot Athletics, Chaos Crewing, Run Wild, Trail Sisters, the South Mountain Conservancy, New York, New Jersey Trail Conference, the Trail Mix Fund, Bigger Than the Trail, Stride for Stride, J-Host PT, and Women in Ultra Running. So when we send out the email, we will have links to each of those. You can check them out. Okay, and I think that is it. Let me see if we got any comments that are coming through. Oh, we do have a couple. I'm going to flash them up on the screen. We got Jennifer saying hello. What's up, Jen? We got Francis was our aid station captain for the SquaTCh. His trail name is Percolator, so he's stoked about the coffee. And then this is a question from Nicholas. Great question. For emergencies during the race, any particular phone number we should use? Yes, we will have I haven't added them to the back of the bib yet, but we've got stickers that'll go on the back that have both my number listed and the New York Rangers emergency number. So those are my cell phone number is also listed on all of the arrows that are out on the course. So you'll see on the top it says trail race in progress. Do not remove trail race director Kim Levinsky and cell phone number. Those are on every single arrow that's on the course. And then the Rangers numbers actually is listed on the course on those safety checkpoint signs. So you'll see the safety checkpoint. It'll give the GPS coordinates for where you are. And then it has my cell and the Ranger cell listed on there. So great question, Nicholas. All right, keep going here. Maple. Yeah, so that weather on Saturday. I mean, you know, it's classic SquaTCh. So we're back at it. We've had a good run of sunny weather. It's been nice. It's been blissful. But we were starting to get it back a little bit with the SquaTCh with those like 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts. But it's time for some rain again. So we personally excel in rainy race settings. So you can expect us to be, the stoke is going to be high on Saturday. You're going to be feeling the good vibes with the weather. All right, next question from Alex Berg. Sorry if I missed this. What time do you recommend arriving and parking? Great question. We are going to be ready for you for check-in at 8:15 a.m. So you can arrive anytime before that. Check-in, we try to always end at 8:45. So that gives us a little buffer to do pre-race announcements. But the parking lot is so big, you're not going to have any issues parking. And you're going to be very close to the start finish within walking distance. So you don't really need to get there super early unless you've got like a warm up you want to do or get out the pre-race jitters and hang out. All right. Nicholas, thanks. You got it. No problemo. Trent Swanson. Rain emoji. Yeah. I know you know a lot about rain. Trent Swanson is an incredible race director for the Algonquin Ultras and trail races down in like the Maryland area. And they have a legendary event called the Algonquin 50K and the Duck 100K. And I have personally experienced that mud is like next level. I've seen like up to your knees water. It's crazy. So Trent is in the same boat as us. No pun intended, but we are both very used to crazy weather. And no problemo. Alex Berg said thank you. Okay, I think that is it. Those are all the comments that I'm seeing. Let me check Instagram real quick. I don't see any. So let's wrap it up. Okay, so again, like I mentioned, I'm going to send this out via email this evening. You're going to get it in the next few minutes. It's going to be, we have an English version and a Spanish version. We just started doing Spanish translations. We have a SquaTCher on staff who is from Colombia and is fluent in Spanish. So he's been translating our materials. And I'll give you the backstory to that because I love sharing it. We have a group of students who have been joining our events. They are from the Hackensack, New Jersey Middle School Happy Feet Running Club. And this club started this past year, and these kids have been coming out to our events. So we started what we're calling the SquaTCh Kids Trail Fund, where all the funds that are donated are going to cover the registration fees for these kids to come out and race with us. So a lot of the kids either, I think all of them, English is not their first language, and definitely for their parents. So we've got a little bit of a language barrier. So that's why we started translating race materials, which we're really stoked about. We're always looking for ways to make trail running more accessible. So if you have ideas, feel free to shoot them at me, but we are excited about that. Okay, let's end this. It is, that took a little bit over a half an hour. I think that's it. So between now and race day, please, if you have any questions, reach out to me via my cell phone. I'm not going to be on email as frequently as there are plenty of race tasks to do between now and then, but my cell is listed on all the race correspondence. So that's it. All right, thanks for tuning in, and we're stoked to see you Saturday. Bring the good vibes. Bring the good vibes. Embrace the weather. It's going to be awesome. All right, keep it squatchy, you guys.